Ceci n'est pas un jeu de vidéo. Okay, last time, what do you think? I asked about, why do we continue to play games we dislike? So, Jason Vectrix writes, I liked Altered Beast and would keep it on my shelf. I do see it like a demo of what the system can do, or like a music video compared to a movie. It's definitely lacking replay value. Okay, so you and Dead Thumb, it could come across like I was attacking people personally. I was expressing my opinion, but I guess I did it in a way that would make people feel like they would be personally attacked, like, hey, you're stupid for playing Altered Beast. I didn't really want it to come off that way, but I can see how I did. So I'm not going to really dig into this quagmire. I know Dead Thumb later on leaves a comment about that, but yeah, so let's just move on. True McFly writes, there are a few reasons I may keep playing a game I don't like. I always have a sense of leaving something undone if I start a game yet do not see it through to the end. Another reason is because I love gaming for trophies. No, in the PlayStation world. No! Even if the game is terrible, I feel like there's something redeemable to it when I hear that trophy pop. You know how you get rid of that? Turn off the trophy pop. Turn off those little notification bells. We didn't need that back in the Sonic 3 and Super Mario World days, you know? We just played a game. If we got bored of it, maybe we'd screw around. Maybe we'd turn on some Game Genie codes. Maybe we'd let it sit for a while, play a different game, come back later. To what I think you're actually asking, why do people keep going back to a series when they don't like playing them? I really think it boils down to searching for that lost nostalgia. One or more of the games in a series must have resonated with the player, so the player is always chasing that same feeling that made them like something about the previous games in the series. Now that is very insightful, True McFly. I didn't even think of that. See, this is brilliance right there. Yeah, I can see that. I can see how, like, you go like, oh, I liked Sonic 2, but why is Sonic Adventure 2 not feel like Sonic 2? And you just go like, well, maybe the next one will feel like Sonic 2. So yes, they're chasing this high. It's almost like an addict who is always chasing that initial high, and the memories of that initial high can never quite make it back to the plateau, but always reaching for it. Very insightful, True McFly. Did I give that? I did give it a heart. Look at that. Terry309 writes, oh boy, Terry. Paragraphs. Oh, we got some paragraphs. You have it in for me, Terry. Assassin's Creed 2 was a fresh take on the open world formula at the time, and honestly, I really enjoyed it back then. It hasn't aged particularly well, though, mainly because of the modern day trends of open world games. They've become so tiresome now because it's the same old shit with each game now. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there has to be some innovation between sequels and spin-offs, right? There's like, you want to play more in that world, so you go back. But I can understand. I mean, like I said, with Assassin's Creed, it just felt like the same thing over and over again. So, now I lost my place, Terry. Darn it, in this chunky paragraph. Back then, though, open world games were only just starting to trend, and while it was far from perfect, it did set some very important foundations for future open world games. That being said, I do agree that the series has overstayed its welcome. I didn't really mean to attack the Assassin's Creed game. Like, I didn't want to attack people's personal tastes on Altered Beast. I was just being provocative. The formula just isn't interesting to me anymore, and if I went back to play Assassin's Creed 2, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as the first time around. The same goes for Far Cry 3. While I enjoyed the game at the time, the formula just got old, so I completely understand why Assassin's Creed 2 isn't well liked by some people, because, really? Nowadays, every game... I thought people love Assassin's Creed 2. They'd go like, why can't all the Assassin's Creed be like Assassin's Creed 2? Some better, some worse, but the improvements have been made to the formula as time goes by. That's as it should. The thing that the formula itself is getting bored for me. I think we need to see some more structural experiences in the AAA market with levels that are built around the gameplay experience, as opposed to where I lost my place again, darn it. As opposed to being big and open for the sake of it. Bring back actual level design. That's what I say. I also think that these huge open world games aren't as fun to explore because you see the same things over and over again. Well, I'd say that the technology is helping that. There are a lot of tools now the developers have to generate random, unique items, scenery in games, trees, houses, etc. So not everybody has the same experience, or the experience is kind of built off of these unique, it's sort of like the terrain generators of the old point and click Arp strategy games of the past. These are, they have these tools that can build a random tree or whatever. So, not everybody sees the same blade of grass. Bring back actual level design. That's what I say. I also think these huge open world games aren't as fun to explore because you see the same things over. I think I read that again. There doesn't seem to be any meaning to any of those locations. They're just there. It's in a more linear structure level. You see locations and question why they were put there. I don't know if I could do that. I just, if this looks pretty, I maybe stop and stare a bit. But there's value to that intrigue alone. There is. Yes, the beauty of it, right? The majesty of games. Now it's just, oh look, it's another building like the one I've seen before, and oh, more trees. We could say that though for like these 2D games, like Game Boy and Super Nintendo, etc. They're all using the same tile set. Mario, they use the clouds to make bushes, or bushes to make clouds, whichever one you want to say. Just different colors. There are 3 reasons why I play games that I dislike. The first reason being the education that comes from it. When you play a bad game, you learn that it doesn't work, but you also learn what the game was trying to do, even if it didn't do it well, and I can appreciate a game that tries to do something interesting even though I didn't enjoy it. And it was still an experience that taught me a lot. I don't know if I really want to waste my time though with that. But I guess there is something to getting your own opinion. The second reason I play games I dislike is to review them. No! Reviews are hard. They require you to put time. I did three reviews on this channel, and one super long top 5 video, and it was just like, it was a lot of work. I played Duke Nukem Forever just so that I could leave a review at the time, since I heard that it was a bad game and I wanted to see what all that fuss was about. So I gave it a go. I like to give games with a mixed reception a chance so long as the price is reasonable. Yeah. And I got my copy of Duke Nukem Forever for $1 on Humble Bundle, so I thought I might as well. I think it's important to see things with your own eyes sometimes. Then you can pinpoint the problems and potentially find more problems, maybe even the core of the problem, or perhaps you could be pleasantly surprised. I guess if you're reviewing a game, that makes sense. The third reason I play bad games is that when I play them, I tend not to be as involved or into them as I am a good game, and because the lack of dedication, it feels relaxing to me. When I'm playing a game that I really want to like, though, I get frustrated easily if it doesn't go my way. I guess there can be something about I don't know what you do, if that's like your profession or something, but it could be a real drain, I guess. When I'm playing a game that I really want to like, though, I get frustrated easily if things don't go my way because I'm driven to make progress. In a bad game, I don't care so much about progress. I just want to amuse myself for a few minutes while I play something bad. Better things you could do with your time. Of course, we don't all have the time to do this. And I find that nowadays, I try to distance myself away from bad games. Well, that kind of goes against your first paragraph, your first reason, right? And focus only on the ones that I will enjoy, and that's mainly because of the time commitment. Games not only cost money, but time as well, and I think that playing bad games could take away from playing a good game. Still, it does happen. Sometimes I play a game, I think it means a bad game, for a good laugh. Since they're so laughably bad, I can't help myself. That Dumb Gamer, I apologize if I offended you. No, we're not digging into this quagmire. Okay? Majority writes, why play a game we recognize a lack of enjoyment? Well, it's funny you should ask. Because we bought it. Because we make videos on them. Because we subscribe to a code of equating monetary value in our games with temporal value. It's true, man. $60 game, right? We go like, oh, is it really worth that extra $10? Oh man, if you were back in the Super Nintendo days when I saw these prices for like 60, 70 bucks back then. I try and ignore all those things. Good for you. Over the past few years, I've been especially cognizant of disposing of games I didn't enjoy them, and playing and replaying beloved classics, and only purchasing games for personal favorite consoles. One phrase I like using is, I don't play bad games. Maybe you don't continue to play bad games. It's not always true, but that mentality helps me retain my original authentic purpose for the hobby, live entertainment. If I'm not in the mood for a lengthy RPG, I'll sink a couple levels in a 2D or 3D platformer. If I'm not in the mood for precision platforming, I'll explore a 3D action adventure or recline and unwind in a turn-based RPG. Looks like you have a full plate there. I have enough stressors outside of gaming. The last thing I need is to fill my passion for gaming with negative stressors. Yeah, man, go with the flow. Thanks for asking the question. Well, thanks for the answer. Then we got Rick's Gaming Cave, aka Segatron, aka... oh, I can't remember what his other name was. Yeah, he's been away for a while. So he says, been a minute, brother. Glad you got back into making things. I took a break from YouTube. Sorry for my absence. Well, don't be sorry, man. I always check to see if you and a bunch of other people who've been absent upload stuff. I don't expect them to. There's some people who said they've left YouTube. They're never going to upload again. I still check on them. Yeah, this is a great question. Tough answer. I believe answering this question coming from an outside perspective would say the reason for either completionist enthusiasm or to create their own opinions. Similar to Terry, right? Example, E.T. for Atari. Chappy game of all time. Does it mean crappy? Maybe. I know you're in Europe, so maybe chappy's a thing there. Well, I wanted to play it and see how, okay, he probably meant crappy, how crappy it was, as well as every LGN title on the NES. No, you're hurting yourself. Don't do it. In today's gaming, my opinion of crap games is pay-to-win games, or where they entirely focus on multiplayer. It's rare to find a game focused on story and level design. Hey, again, you and Terry, talk to each other. I've been playing recently Mafia 2 on PS3, and I love the game. I love the fine details, like finding Playboys in the game. It's little things that make me enjoy the game. Yeah, dig into it. So, hope all is well, brother. Keep gaming. Check you in the next vid. Yeah, man, thanks for writing in. What gives repros value? Recently, I saw Limited Run Games doing a repro of Shantae, and originally when Capcom published that game back in the early 2000s, I was interested, but I didn't go out of my way to find it. I thought, maybe I'd stumble across it in the future. I'd be okay. We know how that story ends. So, after much deliberation, I decided to get the Limited Run Games version because I didn't want it to slip through my fingers again. With the way people are buying up things and reselling them, and the values start to inflate quickly. yeah, I gave some credence to this repro. I believe my confidence lies in the idea that my peers think this repro is value or has value on the market. Yeah, I get this little whisper from my collector mind. Your investment is safe. And it's, I mean, like, I have no plans on selling it. So I know it's a sickness. That's the thing. We all agree, like, maybe some people thrive in that collector mind sort of state, but I constantly battle it. You know, stop picking up these stupid tchotchkes, but I love them. You can think of it though, like, you can think of it like the principle of money. You know, a common currency. We trade back and forth pieces of paper for physical and non-physical goods. So yeah, something is given value when we all buy into the system. We agree these things have value. You don't see a dog bending over to pick up $20 on the street, but you know, food, water, comfort, these are dog values. But yeah, I've got a couple. That's 2. Well done. With their mails and everything translated into English as if they were North American released games. These are games that were not originally released in English. They were Japanese exclusives. And that's the thing though. I like physical and I like original, but yeah, I view this almost like, realizing a hypothetical history of the North American Sega Genesis library. I wasn't going out though to buy every single $3 a pop repro game on AliExpress. So yeah, does the repro need to be high quality then? With packaging and really nice, deep, you know, nothing that looks like it's been printed off of a copy machine kind of prints. There's a company I see on eBay, VGDB, and then there was Time Walk Games. And both of these companies, they made or have made high quality repros with packaging and all, you know. It's does it have to be okayed by the publisher? Does it, you know, and the developer, you know, does that make it legit in our eyes? Something like those done by Limited Run Games or Columbus Circle or the one, who did the one Metal Storm? I think it was a different company. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't like the ones that use the same labels and packaging because it's just, the thought enters my mind that they get out there in the world, they get a little beat up, a little mark on them or whatever, and then they get they're not as easy to distinguish at first glance. You just look at them and you go like, oh, that's a hell of a deal, I should buy it. I saw this one Mars Matrix case and label, 100% fake. It indicated such in the description and the title, but yeah, I think with further inspection, I was able to see at least something that would give me pause in the mail, the back of the mail. I saw another one for Great Ace 5, and I was just like, come on, it's like these things are gonna get out there, people are gonna buy them, they're then going to resell them or donate them, and you know, the secondhand market has a way with, you know, the transport of these goods, and people may not even know what they're selling. You know, I'm thinking that some guys might just buy these mails and cases and everything and list something as, oh, it's complete, original, authentic, and if you don't do your research, if you just look at first glance, you buy it and then you get it, and then you tell the seller like, hey, this is not original, and then they have to go like, oh yes it is, yeah it is, I sold you original, you know, or you know, maybe they don't know like I said, they could be selling something for somebody else. They picked it up at a flea market, etc. Maybe they're like from another generation that didn't see these things originally. Like there's a 15-year-old out there selling Hyperstone Heist, and he thinks he has a really beautiful complete copy, and it's a repro. This I can understand. You kind of have to understand that the Genesis didn't have either of these games. But even so, if you were to sell these, people looking for games would, they wouldn't understand that these games came out only in a foreign market. I also see people selling repros for more than $3. I mean, like, what's the point of selling a repro? Let's say Mario Kart 64. I don't know what the price of that's going for now. Let's say an authentic one is going for $40. You'll see somebody selling a repro for $33, and people buy them. And I wonder if those people buying them actually know what they're buying, or if they care. So again, those things can get out into the real market, the secondhand market. So I like, if you're making a repro, at least put some distinguishing marks on the label, on the packaging, on anything that goes into it, because I don't know, it's just, I worry about that stuff. But then at the same time, even if there are people that do that, how do you stop these predators from not doing it? I was on AliExpress, and there was a Chinese seller on there, and it said, "Stupid buyer, don't buy," in the description of all the repros that this guy was selling. Guy, girl, I don't know, non-binary, whatever the term is now, friendly. This person was selling. It said, "Stupid buyer, don't buy." So buy them, burn them, throw them in the garbage. Cheap, physical, high quality, legit packaging. What does it take for you to give repros value? What do you think?